Hey folks, it's Cameron from the Brushfire Mind, and this is coffee. If you check out the link down below in the description, you can find ways to support us by buying us more coffee. Okay, thanks.
And the only thing I'm not clear on is whether they prefer that your children be perverted or promiscuous. But this is an instance where you have armed men actively engaged in facilitating evil. Antifa members clash with Proud Boys protesters at Texas kids' Drag'n Brunch. And this is the New York Post. The New York Post gets a lot of latitude from me because of their brilliant work on the Hunter Biden story. But in this
Can I just start with the obvious question? Since we're way past the F-bomb barrier anyway.
Rock it out.
The fucking fuck is a drag brunch?
Oh, it's...
I mean...
I assume it's pancakes and trannies. Maybe some Bananas Foster.
That is not a Bananas Foster that I want.
That's what happens when you spill some Christian Brothers brandy in your lap.
Oh, no, stop, no.
And then you drop your joint, and it all just goes...
Brandy's
Bananas
not
Fauci.
that... Look, I happen to know for a fact that brandy's not that flammable. You can drop weed in your lap when you're drinking
That's
liquor,
true.
and
It does require an open flame. But burning brandy is part of making Bananas Foster. Armed conservative activists and Proud Boys face off against gun-toting Antifa counter-protesters at a children's drag brunch in Texas over the weekend. So I'm going to play just a little bit of this video.
I like how they try to frame it like the Proud Boys might be the bad guys here. Not the guys dressed in black protecting the kitty diddlers.
I'm not saying none of the conservatives here were armed, but the Antifa here are wearing black bloc, as in masks and tactical gear, and toting those big scary AR-15s. They're going out of their way to appear dangerous and militant, right? Whereas the same cannot be said of the protesters there. Now, it's also, I find the claim of the Proud Boys presence here to be dubious, because the Proud Boys...
nobody got their ass whooped.
Well, not only that, Jesus Christ. But in these images, I'm not seeing anybody wearing the blue shirts with the gold, or the black shirts with the gold trim on them. Oh wow, that almost got out of hand. There's some stuff down there at the bottom. But
glad it was pixelated.
No shit. The Proud Boys tend to wear that black shirt with the gold trim on it. And,
keep going.
Okay, Alex says this is the one Crowder has people undercover behind the scenes. I think so, and he's supposed to be releasing... Yeah, there it is. Yeah, he's supposed to be releasing that video tomorrow. That should be very interesting. But Antifa...
I mean, interesting is in, like, makes you want to, grab torches and pitchforks and lighter fluid and Mossbergs.
The takeaway here is, I want you to understand that the people who set your country on fire for over a year and conducted actual insurrections by establishing military footholds, strategic positions of governmental and authoritarian denial with arms. Right? So they conducted actual insurrections against the United States of America without consequences during a major, arguably one of the most important general election cycles in history. They are pro-grooming.
They don't call it that because they're liars, but they're...
And, right, but... They will actually use the language queering X, queering Disney, queering this, queering that. And what they mean by that, and they say explicitly in their perverse academia, is that the objective is to convert children. Now, the argument used to be born this way. And I happen to believe from personal experience that some are and some aren't. But the argument no longer pretends to be born this way. The argument now is that it is a moral good, to promote sexual promiscuity and perversion. And the only thing I'm not clear on is whether they prefer that your children be perverted or promiscuous, because they're not the same thing necessarily.
Hey, look, flip it back over. Let's actually dig into this article a little bit before we go, because this is illustrative. A viral video showed the right and left-wing demonstrators yelling at one another on Sunday afternoon outside Anderson Distillery and Grill in Roanoke. The sold-out Barrel Babes Drag'n Brunch was billed by its organizers as a place where kindness and inclusion meets fabulous fun. As the video shows, there was more fury than fun on display outside the venue, with gun-wielding conservative group members picketing the restaurant and masked anti-fascists dressed in black standing guard outside while brandishing AR-15 style rifles and gay pride flags. That is a sentence, isn't it? Like, that is definitely a sentence where those...
Maybe even three.
Where those evil, gun-wielding conservative group members are picketing the restaurant and the masked anti-fascists. They're standing guard.
And to say that they're anti-fascist, we talked about this yesterday with Joe Biden's semi-fascist remarks. You don't understand what words mean. You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Keep Roanoke gay. I never knew Roanoke was gay in the first place. The angry confrontation, which was watched over by a throng of police officers acting as peacekeepers, did not escalate to physical violence and resulted in no known arrests, according to an official with the Roanoke Police Department. Okay, that's important, because they really poison the well here. As, oh, there's evil conservatives and they're gun wielding and they're just looking for a fight. There wasn't one, and we're just gonna, bury that 5 or 6 paragraphs down in the story. But they were looking for a fight. News of the brunch, which saw drag performers entertain children with musical numbers and comedy skits. What kind of musical numbers and what kind of comedy skits? Chris, have you ever been to a drag show?
Actually, yes.
What's the only joke drag queens have?
It's a dick joke.
Yeah, right. And is it like, and it's usually
It's basically Amy Schumer.
But funnier?
It's comedy about genitalia.
Huh. And there are children there.
The only exception to that is Eddie Izzard, who is no longer a drag queen, who is no longer a transvestite.
Really? That's okay. That's a different...
Yeah, he's a chick now. Occasionally.
Sure. Whatever we have to say to not get booted off YouTube. Bouncing around social media platforms for days, prompting conservative groups to call for protests despite the restaurant owner's reassurances that the event would include no sexual content, foul language, or erotic behavior. Guys, I swear, I understand exactly why you would think that this would be some perverted bullshit, but I swear it's not going to be perverted bullshit.
And I'll put the lie to that statement right here. Here's an image. I mean, do I need to say anything about this?
I mean, so there's 2 groups of people that went to this event. Okay, there's the group of people that Boy, you know, the one on the far right is proof that just because you're ugly and unattractive doesn't mean you're another gender.